Hello and welcome to the new series on Parcham IAS. Today, session is about the Hindu newspaper on 3rd February 2025. So, we will discuss about forum flags fall in employment days under Manregas. Okay, we will discuss about Manrega. Falling short of the 100 days of work guarantee under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Okay, Manregas. Average work days per household under the scheme had come down to just 44.62 days in 2024 to 25 from 52 to 52.08 days in 2023 to 24. A consortium of non-profit organizations said on Sunday. Okay, the number of person days fell from 312.37 crore in the financial year 2023 to 24 to 239.67 crore into 2024 to 25. The term person days. Okay, the term person days refer to the total number of work days by a person registered under the Manregas in a financial year. In a statement on Sunday, the Narega is old name of Manrega. Okay, Narega Sangars Morcha, a consortium of Manrega's worker and NGO working in the social sector, said the low budgetary allocation, which remained stagnant at 86,000 crore, the same as that of last year, reflected the government's deliberated neglect of the rural workforce. Now, as of February 1st, the deficit is stood at 9,860 crore with pending wages of 6,948.55 crore of the January 2025. Okay, January 25. Okay, and with 2 months maintained in the financial year, this recurring trend where an average of 20% of the budget is used to clear past dues means that the effective allocation of 2025-26 will be no more than 70,000 crore. This, when adjusted against inflation, is approximately 4,000 crore less than previously years. It pointed out as a percentage of GDP, the allocation has further declined to a mere 0.24%, okay, compared to 0.26% in the previous financial year. Okay, the scheme is awaiting routine wage is taxation, and even this adjustment has not been accounted for, the statement said. The Narega Morcha said an inadequate budget will result in massive delays in wage payments, exacerbating financial distress for rural workers, a suppression of work demand, and denying people their right to employment, and decline in inequality as a creation and weakening of rural infrastructure. Okay, and Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh said that the government's neglect of this crucial safety net expose its indifference in rural livelihoods. It reduced Manrega's reach, leaving drought hit and poor rural workers standard, he said, and it precludes any increase in the wage paid to workers even in this ongoing financial year. The minimum average notified wage rate was increased by only 70%. Okay, this is a time when consumer price index inflation is estimated to be minus 5%. Manrega, not minus. this is a time when consumer price index inflation is estimated to be more than 5%. Manrega is therefore ground zero for the national crisis of wage stagnation. Now, the government of India passed the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005 in September 2005. Okay, the act gives guarantee of 100 days of wage employment in a financial year to adult members of a rural household who demand employment are willing to do unskilled manual work. Okay, now it aims to enhance livelihood security in rural areas by providing the at least 100 days of assured and guaranteed wage employment in a financial year to at least one member of every Indian rural household whose adult member volunteer to a unskilled manual work. Okay, and more importantly, the scheme increased bargaining power of rural labor in agriculture sector, resulted in higher wage rates, better work environment and less exploitation. National average person days of employment per household. The National Rural Employment Guarantee Act NREGA, okay, vision for 2024 focused on enhancing rural livelihoods and sustainable development, and it aimed to strengthen the implementation of NREGA by promoting skill development, technology integration and transparency in job allocation. Now, in 2009, NREGA scheme was renamed Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. MNREGA. Okay, 2019 NREGA scheme was renamed MNREGA. NREGA is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Okay, NREGA National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Okay, and now till 2009, NREGA scheme was renamed MNREGA. Okay, MNREGA is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Now, next topic is ISRO's NVS-02 satellite successfully placed in orbit. Okay, so navigation satellite launched at last week suffer malfunction. Okay, ISRO failed to carry out orbit rising operation. That alternative strategies for utilizing NVS-02 for navigation in an elliptical orbit being worked out. Okay, so the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO has been unable to perform the intended orbit rising operations for the NVS-02 satellite due to a value malfunction. The NVS-02, the second satellite in the NVS series, was launched by the ISRO on January 29 as part of its landmark 100th launch from Sriharikota. Okay, the NVS-02, the second satellite in the NVS series. Okay, and the space agency on said Sunday that the orbit rising operations towards oppositioning the satellite to the designated orbit slot could not be carried out as the valves for admitting the oxidizer to fire and the thruster for orbit rising did not open. And the Indian Space Research Organization was supposed to carry out the orbit rising operation after the launch, but has been unable to perform the maneuvers due to the glitch, and the operations were to be executed by the master control facility of at Hassan in Karnataka. And the satellite system are healthy and satellite is currently in elliptical orbit. Alternate mission strategies for utilizing the satellite for navigation in an elliptical orbit is being worked out. Okay, and the space agency said the NVS-02 navigation satellite was successfully injected into the intended geosynchronous transfer orbit. All the launch vehicle stages performed flawlessly and the orbit was achieved with a high degree of precision. subsequent to the launch and the solar panel on board the satellite was successfully deployed and power generation is nominal and communication with the ground station and has been established. Okay. All the launch vehicle studies performed flawlessly and the orbit was achieved with a high degree of precision. Subsequent to the launch and the solar panel on board, the satellite was successfully deployed and power generation is normal and communication with the ground station has been established. NVS-0 second is configured with navigation payload in L1, L5 and S band. ओके मैंने पिछली क्लास में ये एक्सप्लेन किया है L1, L5 और S band को. In addition to rigging payload in C band like its preceders NVS-01, it will place at 111.75 degree east, replacing IR and SS first E. Okay, NVS-02 uses a combination of indigenous and procured atomic clocks for precise time estimation. Okay, so now let's start 100th successful launch. Okay, so satellite. The Indian Research Organization Sunday reported a technical glitch. It's NVS-02 navigation satellite that was launched on board the GSLV F-15 on January 29. It's 100th successful launch. Okay, and in his statement, the ISRO said that a satellite's technical glitch has caused the stalling of the orbit rising maneuver. Okay. And subsequent to the launch, the solar panel on board the satellite was successfully deployed and power generation is nominal and communication with the ground station has been established. But the orbit rising operations toward positioning the satellite to the designated orbital slot could not be carried out. The valves for admitting the oxidizer to fire the thruster for orbit rising did not open. And the satellite system are healthy and satellite is currently in elliptical orbit. An alternate mission strategy for utilizing the satellite for navigation in an elliptical orbit is being worked out, ISRO said. Okay, with the ISRO not reporting any orbit maneuvers on the NVS-02 satellite launched 4 days ago, speculations about technical glitches had arisen. Now, apparently nothing new from NVS-02 either. Here, recorded over South America on 2025 to 155 to 44 UTC at more than 31,200 km altitude, and the blue sky app of S2A systems reported Sunday. And the data from the open source space app, which is developing an operating system for space situational awareness, suggests the NVS-02 remains in approximately the same position it was placed on January 29, and whereas ISRO was expected to use the on-board engine to carry out a series of orbit maneuver to place to the satellite in the intended geostationary position of 111.75 degree east over India. Okay, remember that the data from the open source space app, which is developing the operating system for space situational awareness, and suggested the NVS-02 remains in approximately the same position it was placed on January 29, whereas ISRO was expected to use the onboard engine to carry out a series of orbit maneuver to place the satellite in the intended geostationary position of 111.75 degree east over India. Okay, and the satellite was in the same location as reported by the app on January 31 over the Indian Ocean. Okay, satellite was in the same location as reported by the app on January 31 over the Indian Ocean, recorded between 14:31 and 15:32 UTC from Australia. And the NVS-02 was intended to be put in an elliptical orbit around the Earth with an apogee farthest point, okay, of 37,500 kilometer and perigee nearest point. देखो apogee farthest point को बोला जाता है, and perigee called is nearest point. Okay, and perigee of 170 kilometer and the very accurate injection by the GSLV on January 29 had put the satellite in an orbit that varied by 74 kilometer from the intended apogee and 0.5 kilometer of from the intended perigee. The NVS-02 satellite is a part of ISRO's effort to create an independent regional navigation satellite system for India called Navigation with Indian Constellation. Okay, Navigation with Indian Constellation, NAVIC. Okay, and to provide accurate position, velocity and timing. So PVT, position, velocity and timing, service to user in India as well as to region extending about 1,500 km beyond Indian landmass. Okay, 1,500 km beyond from the Indian landmass. Okay, and then NVS-02 is the second of 5 second generation navigation satellite. Okay, the first satellite of the series was launched in 2023. Now next topic is Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand. Okay, so one live in relationship in Uttarakhand. What has Uttarakhand's Uniform Civil Code mandated with respect to the registration of live-in relationship? Should the parents of the individual be notified by the register? Okay, how do landlord come into the picture and add their penalties for concealing the relationship, but about the privacy? Okay, so the Uniform Civil Code UCC set to be implemented in Uttarakhand on November 9 and mandates marriage registration within 6 months and live-in relationship register within 1 month. It also entails property rights for parents upon the yearning child's death and proposes strict penalties for non-compliance and false information. So we see some important judgment on love-in relationship in India. Okay, you see that like Nandakumar and V State of Kerala 2018 and Safin Hassan V Ashokan KN and Oras 2018. Okay, one is Devuji Neya V State of Kerala 2023. Okay, some are important judgment on live-in relationship. Okay, in India. So Uttarakhand, which became the first state to implement a civil code, makes it mandatory for live-in partners to register themselves with the district register or face to jail term of up to 6 months. Okay, and live-in relationship. What is a live-in relationship? There is a difference between live-in relationship and the relationship in the nature of marriage. Okay, difference between live-in relationship and relationship in the nature of marriage is live-in relationship. Okay, necessarily all live-in relationship will not amount to relationship in the nature of marriage as contemplated under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, DV Act. Okay, Domestic Violence Act 2005, and the Domestic Violence Act uses the terminology relationship in the nature of marriage and not live-in relationship. Okay, the Domestic Violence Act uses the terminology relationship in the nature of marriage and not live-in relationship. Okay, so in the case of D. Velusamy, VD Parcham 2010, the court observed the following. In a feudal society, a relationship outside marriage was seen in a taboo and regarded with terror and disgust. And however, the Indian society is changing, and this change is evident and recognized by the Parliament in the DV Act. Okay, Domestic Violence Act. This one. And now, the court further held that if a relationship in the marriage of a marriage it is akin to common law marriage, it must safety the following. First is, the couple must hold themselves out to society as being akin to spouses. They must be of legal age to marry, and they must be otherwise qualified to enter into a legal marriage, including being unmarried, and they must have voluntarily cohabited and held themselves out to the world as akin to spouses for a significant period of time. Now, case laws. Some case laws on live-in relationship. The Indira Sharma, VKV Sharma 2013, the SC ruled that the woman partner in a live-in relationship is protected under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence, PWDV Act 2005. Okay, under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. And Svetlana Kazankina v. Union of India 2005. Marriage and live-in relationship should not be regarded differentially. Okay, when granting a visa extension, stating that they are now a reality of life. Next one, K.E. Krishan and another versus K.E. Walson and other 2022. The SC ruled that children born to partners in live-in relationship can be considered legitimate and are eligible for family succession. So these three, Indira Sharma versus VKV Sharma case, and Svetlana Kazankina versus Union of India 2015, and K.E. Krishna and another versus K.E. Walson other in 2022. These three cases on live-in relationship, okay, in India. So I hope ये आपको आज की टॉपिक्स क्लियर हो चुके होंगे. So अब हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में मिलते हैं. तब तक के लिए बाय. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.